Has the Rwanda conundrum been solved after a big thinker weighed in on the debate? That's right, Gary Lineker has written a letter, so clearly we can all pack up now and go home. Let's discuss his intervention now and some of the other big stories of the day with the former editor of the Sunday Express, Martin Townsend, and the former Labour MP, Simon Danczuk.
The great intellect, Gary Lineker has waded in once again. Simon, what do you make of this?
Well, I think he should stay out of it, to be quite honest.
Why?
Well, I know very little about football. I know a lot about politics and doing government and policy. He knows very little about government and doing policy. He should stick to football. The reality is that I actually think it's uncaring and unchristian to support the people traffickers bringing people over here, actually. And that's where he's placing himself. I think he's got it completely wrong. It's unchristian, uncaring to support the people traffickers who are actually drowning people in the channel. That's the reality of it.
And Martin, we've been talking about the legal migration to this country for a couple of weeks now, in great detail, a significant proportion of which includes hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians, Hong Kongers, Afghans, all of these groups that we've taken in as legal refugees. I find it very hard to understand how anyone could say that this is an uncaring policy. The numbers that we've taken in have been significant.
I don't think it's an uncaring policy. I think it's a terrible policy, if I'm honest, because I think it's completely impractical. I don't think it's ever going to work. Even if we actually got to the stage where we were sending people to Rwanda, I can see endless problems in Rwanda itself. I can see it being a field day for newspapers that will be out there talking to every single immigrant that person that they can find about conditions within the centre, etc., etc. Rwanda's got a dreadful record on looking after people like that anyway at the home. I just see it as a totally impracticable and unworkable system. That's my objection to it. And actually picking up on a point Simon just made there, what I don't understand is if we can bust these huge drug gangs in Europe through collaboration across Europe, the police forces, etc., why on earth can't we crack the traffickers?
I do disagree with you there, Martin. I think the Rwanda policy is the right one. I think it discourages people from paying all the money to people traffickers to come over here because they know if they land here, they could well end up in Rwanda. I know Rwanda very well. I have a home there. My wife is Rwandan. It's a very safe country. The United Nations uses Rwanda to send refugees and asylum seekers there already. It's got a very good reputation. It's exceptionally safe. I think it's a good policy, and the sooner the government get it implemented, the better.
So, Martin, you're on Team Gary Lineker.
I'm not on Team Gary Lineker at all, and I think Lineker's completely wrong to have spoken out on this issue because he works for the BBC and he's paid very well and he should be completely unbiased in my view. I think it's a misuse of his position. I completely disagree with him being able to speak out. I'm speaking out on practicalities. I think the Tories have made a huge mistake nailing pretty much their kind of election promise, if you like, to this particular mast. They're never going to get this through legally over the next however many weeks and months. It's just not going to happen. In the meantime, we've got a cost of living crisis going on. We've got all kinds of other problems going on in the world. And we've got a Labour Party that doesn't have any ideas or any policies. They should be attacking the Labour Party. They should be trying to get across the fact that Rishi Sunak has done quite a lot in terms of stabilising the economy, trying to get things back on track. He's done some good work there. A lot of this is now being undone by what people see as this endless legal argument over Rwanda.
But isn't one of the major problems too, Simon, that there seems to be no united front when it comes to the Conservative government? If all of the Tory MPs were behind this policy and were desperate to make it work and prove, the naysayers wrong, perhaps it would stand a greater chance of success.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Conservative MPs are in disarray.